Hello there. Welcome to my guide, my beginner guide for Universal Tower Defense. When you first join the game, you'll have a choice between 3 units: Goku, Luffy, and Naruto. Pick whatever you like, it doesn't really matter. After you've done that, come over here to this guy, so Goku over here, and talk to him, that you can redeem some codes, or over here on the right hand side of your screen, to redeem codes also. And then, if you want some extra gems, you can come over here and get a group reward if you'd like to join their group for a little bit extra. Then after that, I'd recommend going over and summoning for some units. Some of the best starter units in the game, in my opinion, are probably Spade, Berserk Shinigami, Sasuke's pretty good also. And those are probably the main ones that you want to try to get early on when you first start mythic wise. But some other good units, of course, would be Fastcore for a farm unit, and then Neji. Since we get Neji to 3 level 6, he gets a pushback, which is really nice for later on. Okay. After you summon, you come over here to play area. You'll have your story mode. Each story mode has Styx Axe with an infinite mode, and they have 3 difficulties. Each difficulty is harder but gives better rewards, which includes more gems, XP, and relics. You can also change the difficulty meter to get even more rewards at higher difficulties, or make it just a little bit easier so you get better rewards. So it's a little bit easier to complete. I recommend doing the whole entire story mode on easy difficulty first, in order to kind of get used to feel the game and how the progression is. And then if you really want to, just complete the full story mode in hard mode. And Nightmare, you might end up needing better units and stuff for, but you may not. There's also legend stages. Legend stages you don't have to do, but you probably will for the evil items for some characters. Like for this curse mark for Sasuke, the hat for Ace, the eye patch for Itachi. After you've done that, you got a pretty good feel for the game. There's a lot of options to go from here. A lot of things you'll have to grind for, like trait crystals over here. If you go over here, you have your trait and stat rerolls. There's a whole bunch of traits in the game. There's your basic, damage increase, cooldown decrease, range increase, your EXP increase, then your upgraded versions of the base ones. And then there's the Fortunate, which increases money production, Duelist, which is all about crit rate, Artificer, which boosts relics, Wizard, which is damage over time, same with Astral, and Sacred. Sacred's really good all around her. Eternals kind of depends on the unit. Vision is kind of mid, but it's decent still if you get it. Then Ruler, the holy grail of all traits. And for stats, you get stat rerolls, where you can reroll stats, and then you also have locks, so you can lock specific stats. The highest tier stat you can get is a triple S, and then after you've done that, you probably want to know how to evolve stuff. If you just go straight from where traits and stats are and come down, go to the evolution guy. And most evolutions are simple. They require fragments and an evil item, and around 5k takedowns. In order to get some of the items, you have to go craft. Come over here to craft. Most of the materials, most of the things you need to craft just cost fragments. Also, there's one more thing over here. There's stat transfer. Let's say if you get like this Rukia, let's say that had S damage, you can put it over on this Shanks, which has D damage. You transfer that stat, purchase at small cost to go. And then after that, you're a little bit farther, you probably want to start building your relics around your characters. For example, Berserk Shinigami, he really just with hyper armor and shields really well. You probably want to give him relics that boost his damage and his hyper armor damage, while Spade, for example, is primarily burn damage and damage over time. So you probably want to build around that. And then that's most of the beginning of the game. There's some other things, such as the gold shop right over here. You can buy gold and trade, buy stuff with gold. It's just fragments, trade rolls. There's unit index where once you get units, you can claim their index, get a little extra gems. And then if you get shiny units, if you get 2 of the same shiny unit, that's like a mythic or higher rarity, you can transfer their shinies to a different one if you already built it up. There's some other little things around, but the best way to get a lot of trait rerolls and stuff early on, I'd recommend completing your introduction all the way and just grinding the achievements. The achievements give a lot of rewards early on and later on. So, this is my beginner guide.